Since the UK voted to leave the EU back in 2016, one of the most talked about issues surrounding this whole argument has been the divorce bill and what the UK owes the EU, the so-called £39 billion. Now it's quite interesting because this £39 billion is a rough estimate that they came up with. Initially they were going to ask for £100 billion until everyone kicked off from our side and then decided to actually review the whole figure. But now we have Boris Johnson, one of the candidates for the Tory leadership contest, coming out saying that the UK won't be paying the £39 billion to the EU in an event of a no-deal Brexit, a position that he is pushing if the EU doesn't come back to the table with a better deal. Boris Johnson has said that we will refuse to pay the divorce bill unless better Brexit terms are on offer from the EU. Now, Boris's comments has angered all the right people. First, the French President Macron. The French President has said that the failure to pay the £39 billion owed in the divorce bill would be regarded as a sovereign debt default.
The French president said any failure to make the payment would be a breach of international commitments and that there would be consequences.
So that's the first line that they're taking, the legality of this issue if the UK refuses to pay this money. Next, we have Guy Verhofstad. Guy Verhofstad has said that Boris Johnson threatens not to pay the Brexit bill. This would not only hurt the UK's credibility as an international partner, but it is absolutely unacceptable and contradicts what almost every lawyer in the UK thinks about it. We also have one of the former chief EU legal advisors saying this.
Because it's a legal debt which has been admitted by the UK, and if a country does not pay its debts, it cannot wait for trust for other countries to make commitments on something else. Well, the problem is that the UK will be a bad situation also because the EU will not accept to negotiate a deal on trade.
Now this is interesting because they're taking two separate lines. The first, which was the legality of the whole situation, and the second is the trust between international partners. This £39 billion and the divorce bill obviously was mentioned in the withdrawal agreement because it was supposed to be part of something, if it did go through Parliament, obviously would lead to the next stage, which is the trade negotiations. Now everyone from Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson to Jacob Rees-Mogg, David Davis have all said that in that event where we are going to be getting a trade deal, of course both sides will be sitting down and deal with any financial settlements. But the issue we have now, which was raised by Boris Johnson, but also Nigel Farage and a lot of other Brexiteers, is that in an event of a no deal, the UK will not legally have any obligation to pay this. Now, this is according to a financial report and analysis put together by Charlie Elphicke MP, Martin Howe QC, and a number of other legal experts, which mentions that the EU's main claim appears to be that the UK is obliged to contribute to the EU's budget for a period of roughly 2 years after withdrawal. This claim is without merit as a matter of international law. The EU's own resources decision and its multi-annual financial framework are legally subordinate to the EU treaties. They have no binding force in law independently of the treaties. Therefore, they cease to impose any legal obligation on the date when the treaties themselves cease to apply to the UK on the 29th of March 2019, which is now 31st of October 2019. Now, even other candidates for the Tory leadership have been saying this, including Angela Leadsom.
Yes, I want to know, in the event of a no-deal Brexit, where do we stand with this 39 billion?
Well, clearly, if there is no agreement at all, then we're not making any payments of the 39 billion to the European Union because there's no legislative means by which to do that.
So the moral of the story is that the European Union and its officials should just calm down, focus on the legal aspects of this whole issue, not the political side. Stop playing games. If you want to sort out the financial settlements, give us a trade deal. Otherwise, if we leave in October without a deal, no money. Goodbye. Now, after the last video, I just wanted to thank everyone who has now joined the Cabinet Club, our membership group, where you can join to support this channel and in return get a lot of extra footage and bonus contents, live Q&As and much more. Obviously, as I explained last time, this is all down to the current situation on social media platforms and certain channels getting demonetized for speaking the truth. Obviously, it's slightly controversial truth. So we need as much support as we can using different routes and paths. So the Cabinet Club is actually going quite well now. A number of people have now joined, regularly getting in touch with me, messaging me. We're doing the Q&As now. So if you want to join, the link is in the description. Make sure you sign up. As usual, subscribe and click on the notification bell next to it. And I'll see you tomorrow with another controversial video.